And we're back. Part 4 of the Samus Clay tutorial. So now, as I said last time, we are going to sculpt the shoulder pieces, which are huge spheres. So, I have this kind of, I don't know what color you call this. It's kind of like a brownish. I think it's very fitting for Metroid Prime style artwork, and it's kind of the only color I have offhand right now, so we're going to go with it. Alright, so first what we're going to do is after I move that, I'm going to roll this into a sphere, which is like, you know, like just roll it, but I need to kind of do it off camera because I have to, a little bit far away from the camera. So it should look like that, and we're just going to do a quick sizing. I think that's actually not bad. I actually like that size a lot. So yeah, I'm going to go for a size like that. And alright, so for this part I'm going to show this, one of the sphere shoulder pieces, and then the upper arm. I'll save the arm cannon and this part of the arm for a separate episode covering both of those. So for right now we're just going to focus on this part. I'm glad I ended up having this game box with me because it's proved quite useful. Although I'm probably going to have to go into the game or at least find some other reference to get a 360 of Samus so I can figure out what's on the back of her. So anyway, we got this going on. Alright, so trying to think how I would do this. First, what I think I would do is take the toothpick and indent down at the bottom here. It kind of looks like a mouth a little bit. And I'm actually going to kind of push that. You're probably going to deform your sphere a little bit, but that's okay. We're going to be adding stuff anyway. So what I want to do is get kind of an open sphere with the smaller, or I should say with the bottom part being a little bit smaller than the top. The top should kind of go over a little more like this. Sorry if I'm moving the camera. I'm not on a flat surface. So yeah, it should look like this. Let me kind of fix that a little bit. Because on the inside here, I actually am going to use some black. Kind of like what we did for this part of Samus, where we had that black in as the neck. I'm going to use black here because it actually looks black. And we can probably do this right now because it's just part of the main construction of it. It's not really detailing at this point. I wouldn't consider this detailing. So I'm going to take it, and because it's a nice indent, it's just going to fit in there really nice. I guess you can kind of push it in, you know, flatten it out. But we really want this kind of black area, because notice in the game box, it's like that. So now it's like that. Yeah. Cool. So now, what we can do is use some more black. And I should just say, as a general precaution, be careful of, again, like how much clay and stuff, because I mean, I know we sized this and it's a good size, but I'm going to be adding some stuff to the bottom here. So like, just as a really over exaggerated example, we're going to add some more black, and then we're going to, rather, oh, good thing I kind of caught that, we're going to be adding, or actually no, I guess black is, yeah, we're going to add some black. So don't do like this, don't add like the black, and then like, oh, we're going to do the upper part of the arm. And then like if the upper part of the arm is like this, actually, yeah, I guess, like you want to make sure it's proportioned, because then when we put the arm cannon on, if the arm cannon is like this long, and you know, it's like, you got to make sure that your proportions for each part are good, because if you kind of mess one area up, like if this was too long, and then we had to still add the arm cannon, you know, more clay, then it would get too long and we'd have to resculpt like a lot of stuff. So just be careful about how long each part is. Sometimes I have that trouble too, and I'm like sculpting a Sonic or something, and I'll make the arms like longer than the legs, and I'll be like, wait, that's not right. So where was I? Oh, yeah, I was adding some black to this part. So yeah, the reason why I'm doing this all or why I'm doing the rest of the arms, or the lower arms in a different part, is because what I'm pretty much going to say for this one is do this twice, because these shoulder pieces look exactly the same on both sides of her body. So we got the black under there because it's there in the artwork. So we got this going on right now, and again, this is where the upper part of the arm is going to be attached. We got this going on. I don't even know which side I'm really doing. I think I was kind of doing it with this in mind, so we'll keep going with this. Yeah. I want to take some black away, a little bit of black away, just because looking at the artwork again, I think it's a little less prominent than I thought it was, but it's still there. So I'm gonna leave a little bit, but maybe I'll just take some away. I guess you can really only see it if you're looking at it from kind of like under this area. You can't really see it if you're looking at it like that. So just leave a little bit while keeping our sphere shape. So there we go. Because I'm going to attach the upper arm separately, we can continue on with detailing and not really worry about smudging anything, because I'll just use a toothpick for that. So I'm going to take a small piece of clay, put it right here, and then kind of work it in so it looks like this, just to kind of give this area, this black, kind of a more, you can see it's, I don't know, it's maybe a little bit sloppy, and I would just rather have it, receive a more sharper cutoff, because we're actually going to be putting some detailing around these areas I'm kind of putting on right now. So, yep, like that. And what I wanted to do is, working on this side, poke a hole right here, kind of do that, yay, and there we go. That'll create the effect for us of this right there. So yep, that's what I wanted to do. Now it'll go on like this, but we're not done yet. I'm going to add those things that kind of, I guess I don't really know what they are, but these things that look like that on top of this shoulder piece. We are already 7 minutes into this video. Wow. I often don't really realize that, like how, I don't want to say how long these videos are, but how fast the time goes when I'm showing stuff. So I'm just going to work the clay in like that, and it should look like that. Little, I don't know, but I really don't know what you call that. I remember when I was having trouble, like, what do you call this part of Sonic? His mouth? But it's not really his mouth. His muzzle? I don't know. Do hedgehogs have muzzles? So now I don't really know what to call this. But whatever it is, it's on there right now. And there's one more on the top, and I do not see any more in this artwork, nor do I see any more in the back of the box, so I guess she only has two. The other one sitting right on top, like that. Make sure it's in line. I put mine kind of over this way, so you want to make sure it's right in line. Right like this. And I'm pretty happy we did all that without severely deforming our sphere. So, that's good. Cool, so it should look like that, and then when it goes on, it'll eventually look like this. However, we're not done. We are not done. Because we must add those little lines right here. So, I'm just going to try something first. I'm going to try, or at the very least, I would at least do this. I would draw them in with a toothpick first, just to see where they're going to go. And I guess I'm going to leave this up to you guys, whether or not you want to keep consistent with what we've been doing, and just leave them as kind of drawn in lines, because to me, I think that doesn't look that bad, especially if it's going to be sitting on the model like this. I don't think that looks too bad, but if you wanted to kind of fill these lines in with black clay, then I would say go for it. Just make them thicker and make sure they line up too. I did a pretty good job of that. But just make sure they're thick enough so that when you put the clay over it, it doesn't like bleed over the side, you know, because similar for what we did here, we kind of just fit it in really nice. So make sure that, you know, you can fit the clay in here. But otherwise, I mean, if you like that well enough, you could just leave it. But the only bit that you have to add in is those little tiny green lines, which, I mean, I guess you could add in. It might be easier if you had the black clay, because you could kind of, you know, see what you were doing maybe a little bit better, whereas this you kind of have more of like a jagged line to work with. But as long as you kind of make it thick enough, you could just like slip them in right there. Maybe I should do a better job of slipping them in, you know, and like still kind of create the same effect. So I guess you can kind of do whatever you want there. I guess maybe just for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna not use clay. And perhaps the first one was a tad too big. But yeah, that's all you're pretty much gonna do, and that's all I would do. How many lines are there? Actually, it's kind of I've always done 3, and to me it kind of looks like there's 3 in there, so I'm gonna try and fit 3 in. And I guess maybe we'll do the upper part of the arm in the next episode, because I really don't want this to continue for too long, because I feel like this is a good point to stop. And I guess these are gonna have to be incredibly small. So let me get my toothpick here. Incredibly small. Yeah, and then just drop them in like that, and then like I'll do like one more, and then I'll just kind of say like do this for all of them. Yeah, like that. So that's what I would do, and I guess you can make them a little smaller if you wanted to, but so yeah, you could either do that with the clay again or without the clay, like I did. But I mean, it would pretty much be the same looking effect. I kind of like this a little better because I feel like it's a bit more reflective of the artwork. Because if you kind of notice it, it looks like. If you kind of notice, it looks like the black portion, or like that we were just working on, is slightly indented overall, this orange, and that's kind of what I did with the toothpick. Is I again made an indent, and then I put the green kind of inside there. But I guess again, if you were to use the black clay, it wouldn't really make much of a difference. It might just be a little bit more visible. But and then once you do that, you know, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here, 3 here. That's pretty much going to be it for this part, and then I'll kind of show the attachment of that part in the next episode. You know, flatten this a little bit. But I think that's kind of it for now for this part. So yeah, I'm going to end it here, and next time I'll have 2 of these sculpted with the green things on all of them, and I guess we'll move on to all the arms next time. So yeah, can't forget the head. One thing I briefly forgot to mention is that the lines we drew actually should go all the way down to this black area. So if you were looking at it like this, they would go down to here. And then they should also continue all the way down to this black area we made at the bottom. So like that. Yeah. And then you want to put green stuff, like the green little lines, in this area, like on the front. But I guess you wouldn't have to put any more on the back here, because most of this area is probably going to be covered anyway, but still, thought I'd throw that in there.